Oh wow. Right guys, how you all doing? As you can see, it's certainly a wet one today, and we are unfortunately not heading into work, which I'd love to say I am because of the weather, but we are actually heading to the garage, and I'll explain more as we're driving to the garage to get something checked out with this vehicle, which I'm afraid I think is going to be bad news, but I'll explain all as we drive along. Okay guys, we're just on our way in now, and as I say, I wish I was going into work. It's absolutely horrendous out here, and what we're actually doing today is we're going to a certain garage, which I won't be naming the name of because I don't think it's fair that I do, but we'll be going to a certain garage. All I can say is one of the most popular garages that people go to, and you know, everyone will have their own perception on that one. Now, the reason I'm going in is because in the last 2 weeks I've been getting a strange sound from the vehicle, and the best way to describe it is like a London Underground train, an electric underground train, pulling off from a standstill and starting to accelerate. And that kind of whirring noise that you hear is exactly what I'm getting in the taxi. And when it's on the electric mode, this taxi, you can't hardly think, you can't hear a thing. And so I'm going to go and get it checked out. But what I actually think it is, because previously on my older vehicle that I had before this, it was something known as the dreaded ERAD. Now, the ERAD, which stands for Electric Rear Axle Drive, is a component in the vehicle that, for some reason, when it goes, it makes this kind of whirring noise. As I say, it sounds like an electric train pulling off from a standstill. Now, this is something that apparently you have to get done as quickly as possible. Otherwise it just gets worse and worse, and it gets louder and louder, and it's also very annoying for the driver, but also most importantly for the customer. So we're going to go and see if it's that today, which I think it is, to be honest, but I'll be very surprised if it isn't. And we're going to go and check that out. But there's been, I mean, the ERAD, which stands for Electric Rear Axle Drive, has been a problem in this vehicle since it was first built, and it takes drivers out of work, or not, maybe not out of work, but they get a replacement vehicle, I'm guessing most drivers, and it just, for an £80,000 vehicle, for something to continuously go wrong and still not being rectified, it's really disappointing. And on Facebook, for instance, if you look at the LEVC page on Facebook, there's many drivers that their ERAD goes on the vehicle, whether it be at 15,000 miles, 18,000 miles, 20, 25. It's all at different times. So I'm guessing it's the way that people drive. Now, this has been a problem for quite a while, and a gentleman by the name of, I think his name was Perry Richardson, and he runs the Taxi Point newsletter, and he wrote a very interesting article back in February 2024 talking about the problems and the worries of the ERAD that are still going on in these vehicles. So this is what it read. So it's titled ERAD Issues. Black cab manufacturers, London Electric Vehicle Company, have suggested there are many potential reasons that may impact the lifetime of the ERAD following industry criticism. Taxi Point has recently received feedback from taxi and fleet owners expressing the concern over the reliability of the ERAD. In LEVC, in response, Taxi Point reached out to LEVC for clearer understanding of the ERAD's role in the TX and its expected lifespan. LEVC, acknowledging the importance of customer feedback, clarified that the ERAD is an integral part that powers the rear axle of the TXE, highlighting its commitment to the product quality and customer satisfaction. LEVC assured that all issues reported are taken seriously and thoroughly investigated. The company notably acknowledged the various factors that could influence the necessity for repairs and consequently the part's longevity. An LEVC spokesman said the electric rear axle drive motor, known as ERAD, drives the rear axle on the TX. LEVC takes customer feedback seriously and investigates all issues arising with its product. There are many potential reasons why this part may need repairs, and these may impact the lifetime of this part. The ERAD is covered under a comprehensive LEVC warranty, so customers should raise their concerns with their LEVC approved dealership in the usual way. Now, the one thing that really got me in that article was how LEV said that they are taking each individual case seriously. How seriously? Because this is a problem that keeps on going on. It's very inconvenient to a driver that's bought an £80,000 vehicle. And why isn't there any improvement over the last, how long has this vehicle been out for? Since 2017, 16? So you're looking at about 9 years. And the problem still persists. Now guys, in the comments below, you may know a lot more about this, in terms of maybe it's just part and parcel of what electric vehicles are these days. We drive this every single day. When I'm working as a London taxi driver, I roughly do about 90 miles a day. But some drivers, they do much, much more. So, of course, this vehicle is going to have wear and tear. And do not get me wrong, this is one of the best vehicles I've ever driven. It's a fantastic vehicle, don't get me wrong, and I highly recommend you get one. But this ERAD problem is something that is highly annoying, and it's, even though each individual case is being looked at, it doesn't feel like there's any improvement. The price is going up, but there's not much improvement. And yeah, so we'll see how we go. Just probably about 30 minutes from the garage. As I say, I won't be mentioning the garage today, and we'll see what happens. So as we're going into work, just thought I'd give you the lowdown of what work levels are like. Very, very busy at the moment. The Arabs are certainly in town as well. Many tourists are about. Also, we've got really, really good news. Bank Junction is open to London taxis. Way! Honestly, the difference it makes getting across from one side of the city to the other is it's incredible. And yeah, thankfully common sense has prevailed. The safest form of transport, a London black cab, is was able to get across the financial district. How about that, eh? Unbelievable. Hopefully a few more people, boroughs and so forth, will be able to open up their roads to us, because as I say, we're the safest form of transport, and this is why ladies love to get into a London taxi. So that's really good news. The next few months is going to be, I'm expecting to be quite busy. September, especially when the kids go back to school, which I bloody can't wait already, having children of my own. September is usually probably one of the busiest months of the year, believe it or not. I really do enjoy working September, and yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I just thought I'd give you an update, guys. We're nearly at the garage, so yeah, nearly there. Well, we're here, guys, and as I say, fear for the worst, hope for the best. It'll be all right, whatever happens. It is what it is, part of cabbie life. Anyway, off we go. Whereabouts is it?
This is the E-Rad.
Okay, yeah.
And that's the unit that's gone wrong.
That's the unit that's gone wrong, okay, on the left.
And we replaced the whole lot.
We've got to replace the whole lot.
Yeah.
How long do you reckon that'll take? Does that take?
It's usually about 3 to 4 hours.
3-4 hours, okay. Okay, excellent. That's awesome. Thanks for showing me that. Well, because this happened to my last car, I always wanted to know what it bloody was. Thanks, mate. There you go. Wow, that's good news. Awesome, man. Well, that was a good morning. I'll let you know what went on. But yeah, we're going to head home now. I can't be bothered going into work. But that was a pretty good result. Okay, so I've just left the garage, as you well know, and yeah, that was a great result. At first, when they told me it was the suspected E-Rad, I was kind of dreading what they were going to say next, how long it was going to take, how long I'd possibly have a rental vehicle for. But that wasn't the case. They said, yes, it was an E-Rad, but there's actually different kinds of levels, the gentleman was saying to me. And he said that there wasn't really too much. The ERAD did need replacing, but it wasn't a big job. And so yeah, I was out of there in a few hours, and I managed to get my cab back. To be honest, whatever garage it is, okay, you'll know this, guys. Whatever garage that you have to get a rental taxi from, a replacement taxi, I should say. Like, in the grand scheme of things, it's great. You know, you can continue to work and so forth. But it's just a pain in the backside when you have to get all the stuff from your taxi into the new borrowed taxi. And also another thing is, which I thought I'd make this known as well, that whenever I've gone to borrow another taxi while my taxi's getting fixed, no matter what garage it is, so I'm not naming any individual garages here, you have to go with whatever card machine is in that taxi. So like the one I went to just now, I think they use CabPay. Another one, I think another big company will use Taxi World. Now I use CabVision. Of course I don't, so that will mean I don't use those particular cab machines. Now, of course, when they give you a vehicle, it's so you can go out and work. So in terms of me using one of these taxis and using their card machine, it's not possible. So the only way that taxi drivers can do this is by using handheld machines, which TfL prohibit. They do not want that in licensed London taxis because they're not TfL authorised, which I understand. But what are you supposed to do when the card machine or the taxi that they've given you to borrow for the next few days has got a card machine that you're not signed up to, you're not registered to? What happens there? I mean, guys, if you know the answer, please leave a comment below. But in the grand scheme of things, that hasn't happened today, so that's great news. You know, but sometimes, you know, when cab drivers get caught by Transport for London for using handheld machines like iZettle or LowPay, it may be the reason that their taxi is being borrowed for a few days from a garage. But of course, where they haven't got the same card machine system as what they're registered to, you know, how else are you going to get payment? Because this day and age, you can't be cash only anymore, as a lot of cab drivers back in the day used to be. But who knows? But if you can leave a comment below and just let me know, how can you take payment then by card if you're not registered to that card payment machine? You know, it's quite interesting. So we're off home now, guys. Arsenal, my team, are playing Spurs today in a friendly. I don't think it'll be much of a friendly somehow, but I'm going to be watching that at 12:30 today. Sometimes when you're sitting around in a garage for 3-4 hours or so, believe it or not, just sitting there, it does tire you out a bit. So I'm going to go home, have a cup of tea and watch the football. Because I can. Because I'm a London cab driver, I'm self-employed, and I'm my own boss. So, yeah. But anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. And it's been a pleasure having you with me this morning. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.